one, we have been working on adding and subtracting integers, but what we have not really done is do this with decimals. So it's still the same process, okay? If we have arrows in the same direction, we do same, sum, add. So this is an example of same. This is an example of same. But if they're in a different direction, such as facing each other or going in opposite directions, we do different, difference. Remember, difference means you are subtracting. You're finding the answer when you subtract, okay? So, and remember, we need the way our arrows here, the way our arrows are going to move. So if I have a leading positive or normal addition, moves right. As soon as I add a negative, though, that changes my thinking. It goes in the opposite direction. Normal subtraction, remember, it gets smaller. It goes left. But as soon as I do minus and negative, remember, that reverses our thinking and it goes right, which is why a lot of people like to change minus and negative to a plus, which is fine as long as you understand it will not always appear to be adding. So what I mean by that is if I have negative 3 minus negative 12, okay? And actually I'm going to change that negative 12 to negative 12.4 because I said we were going to do decimals, okay? I start here. That's a leading negative. Left. I'm just looking right there, okay? Now I have minus and negative, and again, I'm looking just from right here over. Minus and negative, that moves right, okay? So, some of you like to change it to look like this. Perfectly fine. You're going to notice that the arrows are still going to stay the same. But when you go to solve it, it's different, difference, subtract. Okay? So basically you're starting with the number that you have more of. Some of you get this part confused. So I have more positives, so 12.4, take away 3. Whichever number I have more of, if it's more negatives, I'm going to put that on top. Okay, and I'm going to subtract 4, 12 minus 3, 9. Now, is this positive or negative? Hopefully you can tell it would be positive because I only moved 3 to the left, but I'm moving 12.4 to the right, so it's over into the positive. So it's positive 9.4. Okay, so I'm going to erase this, and this is what you're going to be doing today. Okay, so now what if I have negative 13.1 minus 9.36, okay? We do this all the same, even though these are not integers, these are rational, okay? I'm looking right here, a leading negative. A leading negative starts to the left, okay? Now look right here, let's focus on the movement. From here over, I just see a minus from here to here. Don't look at this one anymore, we're done with this 13.1. Minus 9.3. Left. Okay, those are the ways that this is moving. So I basically am starting to the left and I'm moving more to the left. Okay, so this is going to be a same, sum, add. Right there, same, sum, add. So when I add again, I'm going to make sure that I line up my decimals. I want to make sure I don't forget my sign at the end. This is where people get confused, okay? So I am adding these. I'm adding to the left. So at the end, I'll worry about my sign, okay? So 6, 1 plus 3, 3 plus 9. So it's 22 and 46. And before I circle my answer, put a box around it, notice everything is to the left. Remember, on the number line, everything was to the left. So that means this answer is negative. Please do not get this confused with multiplying and dividing. That is completely different, which is why I like to spend more time on this, because adding and subtracting can be more confusing than multiplying and dividing. Okay? One last problem, guys. How about we do let's say 14 minus negative, let's say 7.3, 7 and 3/10, okay? So we're starting right here. I don't see a sign. If I don't see a sign, it goes to the right, okay? Now I'm looking right here, from here to here, okay? Minus a negative. Nope, nope, nope. Yep, there it is. It goes right, okay? Now if you want to change it, nothing's going to change here. Minus a negative, it becomes a plus, which a normal addition moves right, so it doesn't change the meat of the problem, okay? So in this case, it's going to appear to add because our arrows are going in the same direction. We are to the right of 0, moving right. Same, sum, add. And everything's to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little positive sign there. You don't have to have that positive sign. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even put the positive sign if I was doing this on like a Google form whenever you have an assignment that's fill in the blank. I wouldn't put it. I try to make it where it will count it correct, but I would not put that, just out of habit. When I go to add, I don't see a decimal here. If you don't see it, it's at the end, guys. Every time if you don't see it, it's at the end. So since I'm adding and subtracting, I'm going to line it up. Now some people like to put a 0 there. You can. I don't want to force you to because you don't see it, but if you were subtracting, you would definitely want to put that, okay? 0 plus 3, 4 plus 7, 1 plus 1, and then I bring down that decimal. Okay, so 21 and 3/10. Now, I guess I want to try one more problem with you, just because of subtracting and how I think some of you might accidentally mess this up. So if I have, let's say, 4 and 6/10 plus a negative 30. Okay, and this is a good one to go over because we have a problem, not all of us, but definitely more than one. Oh my goodness, I do know how to spell subtract. We do have a problem with subtracting over zeros. I have noticed that, and that's something that I just want to make sure I cover. Okay, so first of all, look here. That's a positive. I don't see it. Right. Plus a negative. Left. Same or different? Different. Difference. Subtract. So I'm going to subtract this. Whichever one I have more of, I have more negative, so I'm going to put that on top. Okay, we actually call this, fancy word, we call that our minuend. It's going on top. Take away 4 and 6/10. So when I first go to subtract, this 0, that one becomes a 10. Now this one does not become a 10 because this one eventually helped this one. So this one at one point became a 10, but then it became a 9 to help this one out. Okay? So it would kind of be like, there's nothing here, so I have to borrow here. The 3 becomes a 2. This became a 10, which now can help this 0, so then this 10 becomes a 9. Okay, so this is why your teachers, when they were teaching you, they just went on and made that a 9. Okay, 10 minus 6, 4. 9 minus 4, 5. 2. Now, positive or negative? Hopefully you know it's negative because I am moving more to the left. Okay? Guys, this is the kind of stuff I used to be very careless on. I knew what I was doing, but I would forget. I'm trying to help you. Okay? So, now you are ready to take